So this car just came in, and this has one of my favorite sound systems in a vehicle that I've had the pleasure of listening to. It's the Bowers Wilkins, but you can look at how beautifully designed this is. It's very nice, smooth as well, compared to the Harman Kardon, where they just kind of stuck it in place of where the premium high performance but still bass sound system would be. This one is different, with the tweeter up top and then in the back as well. I mean, it's just a very, very nicely designed system where you can only get that on the top trim, the Ultimates, and very rarely do Ultimates actually have that. But essentially, you're going to go into sound, and this is where the magic happens. Instead of surround sound with Harman Kardon, you have stages. You have the stage where you can increase envelopment, increase the intensity, the treble, the bass, the subwoofer. But really, what everybody's looking for is the Gothenburg Concert Hall. That's right. This is great for classical music. The jazz club, well, as the name implies, if you're listening to Sirius XM watercolors or real jazz, this is the way to do it. And then studio is, let's say you're listening to some rap music that you want to hear, or Drake, you're just chilling, R&B, hip hop, and that is the way to do it, or most pop songs. But you can play around with it. If your kids are sleeping in the back, well, you're just going to do it on the driver. If you want to focus more on them, you just focus like so. And the bass and the subwoofer is absolutely fantastic. It is one of my favorite. It's a $3,200 upgrade compared to the $800 Harman Kardon. Harman Kardon is an amazing sound system, especially when you're driving. If you're used to driving Porsche, Mercedes, Audi, they, for the most part, have nice sound systems. We had a $100,000 Porsche with a Bose sound system, which sucked. I had a lot of Infinities that I was selling that had Bose as the premium sound system. And again, it was nothing. I think Harman Kardon is a lot better than Bose. And then from there, you get into the big boys, Bowers and Wilkins, Bang & Olufsen. And there's some Burmester. There's some amazing sound systems out there. The Mark and Levinson sound system with Lexus that really do just caress your ears, and it is just quite the experience. I wish I could play some non-copyrighted music, but unfortunately Sirius XM is probably going to get us in trouble here. Okay, we're going to pause it because you probably didn't hear anything because I muted it. But I was enjoying myself. You can hear the dun, 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 some proper jazz music. You can hear everything. And with that, well, the real magic is what's behind these screens. So the 1400 watts 19 speaker system that's also driven by the main amplifier is a step up from the 600 watt Harman Kardon sound system. So what is it exactly made out of? Well, first off, the acoustics. That's what every sound engineer looks for. How does it bounce off? So, for example, the XC90 Bowers Wilkins, some people say, is a little bit better than the S90 or the V90 Bowers Wilkins because you're able to hear it a little bit better. You have more room to go through. And with every carefully placed tweeter and cone, you're able to make sure that the experience is not being ruined by, for example, high-pitched noises or tunes that are muddied by bass. And at higher volumes, the bass is still as clear as it should be. In the studio, when they're listening, this is the pure experience here. Now, some people do believe that the sound stages are a little weird and they may make songs sound unnatural. But I've listened to many songs through Bowers and Wilkins sound systems. I've been in many of these vehicles that had them, and it is ultimately an amazing experience. I've been in other vehicles, $100,000 plus vehicles that supposedly had better sound systems. I've been in Audis and Mercedes and BMWs that really did have decent sound systems, but also it's the price point that you're paying. First of all, the car's usually a lot more expensive, and yes, sometimes you may get more horsepower, you may get a couple more luxury equipment, but if we're talking an extra $30,000, it really does make you stop and wonder. In addition to that, we're talking about a huge difference in terms of the price points. This is a $3,200 sound system, where some of these other manufacturers are charging you $5,000, sometimes even more. You may be paying $6,000, $7,000, or $8,000 for a high-performance stereo upgrade, which at that point, you're talking about a little mini car. Now, one thing I want you to notice is this is the first one that has come in recharge. This is the first one that has come in with the leather and the suede. That is so nice to touch. So on top of being caressed by these gentle tunes, I haven't seen one with this yet. We talked about this in a previous video. I guess I was wrong because this is absolutely insane. I thought they stopped making these. I guess they're just so rare. I don't know why. Maybe, no, this is the non-recharge. I did have a recharge Ultimate, but that is so strange that this actually does come with it, because this feels so much better to the touch. Both of these, and I like the contrast between the two. But anyways, returning back to the speakers. So I went on this website that goes a little bit deeper than Volvo gives us. The tweeters use technology derived from BMW's Nautilus speakers. This is an iconic, I guess, very popular selling model that they have. Spiraling diffusion channels on the rear of the speakers soak up reflected sound, reducing resonance. And with the tweeter at the very top here, the 19th one, more of the signal reaches the listener directly from the tweeter, so the XC90 system sounds incredibly tangible and lifelike. That was quoted Mr. Stuart Neville. He's the Bowers Wilkins head of engineering. And with that, the full sound system has 19 loudspeakers, of which 4 are 25 millimeter Nautilus tweeters in the front and in the rear doors. Those are the big ones probably at the bottom. 2 by 100 millimeter Kevlar cone mid-ranges at the front doors. Yeah, those would be probably up top over there and at the bottom. I'm sorry, up top, and those are the 4s that are in the back. But with that, no, actually, I flipped that around. Those are the 100 millimeters, because those aren't in the back doors. These 4 are present in the rear doors. That's what it is. Also, with the Ultimate, you do get the passenger and the driver memory seating. You get your side shades, so you can get protected from the sun. You have 2 by 80 millimeter Kevlar cone mid-ranges, which are in the rear doors. I think down at the bottom there. Yeah. 4 by 170 millimeter long throw woofers in the front and in the rear doors as well, which are probably, I'm assuming it's that. Again, let's kind of going into the details here. We have one 2A 100 millimeter mid-range tweeter that is up top at the dashboard, and 2 2A 80 millimeter mid-range 25 millimeter tweeter units in the rear roof panel, probably right where the third row is. There's also a 12-channel Class D amplifier. There's a 7.1 playback for mono, stereo, or multi-channel input, and there's a Quantum Logic DSP with signal extraction, reverb extraction, and spatial filtering. And all of that, I have zero idea what it means. I'm more versed in cars, but for the audiophiles out there, that sounds cool. That sounds like you want to work with these guys. And if you're not convinced, Bowers Wilkins has been in the business for over 50 years. And they have had their speakers, they've had their units used at London's Abbey Road Studios and Skywalker Sound in California. They produce remarkable sound, at least from the cars. It's amazing. And a lot of people are like, well, you have a bunch of these sound systems. It's the actual company. Well, the company has an agreement with the manufacturer. Really, it's the manufacturer that it's not like Bowers Wilkins comes in and they have designed it. They have helped out with it. But the standard sound system from Volvo, it's Volvo engineers that are working with it. And there's a lot of car brands out there that are focused on just a car that drives from point A to point B, and they don't care about the actual experience. The wood, trim panel is very nice. It all feels soft to the touch here, and you are able to work with it very, very nicely. This is a vehicle that makes you feel like it's a luxury vehicle, especially this suede. I cannot get over it. I have to find out which vehicles come with it. And you get the leather handle over here. Absolutely gorgeous. Wow. Because there's been a bunch of Ultimates that we've sold without it. I'm surprised. Okay, so we discovered what it was. It was the lounge package with the nubuck on the headliner behind the headrests. So that's why it's super rare, because maybe we've had 4 vehicles here with the lounge package. Lounge package also gives you the massage seats. Very, very nice. Customer traded out of this XC60 today with the beautiful amber interior, with also the Bowers Wilkins. He traded out of this 2023 into a 2024 a base model, because payment goals. Every now and then you have that. And you can notice how the XC60 system is a little smaller, of course. It isn't as crazy as the XC90, and there actually goes the XC90 that we were just talking about. Amber interior, looks gorgeous, but it's a smaller system, and it still sounds great. But the XC90 sound system is a lot better. I love the amber color though. Looks fantastic. In the back, there have been some client complaints that the leather does actually move a little bit. The Napa leather. There's my car. So anyways, thanks for watching. Have a good one, and take care.